Action. So my phone I'm back. You back. We back. Just like a smile hole. You already know it's me, girl P, your favorite bitch, and your favorite witch. Welcome back to this week's episode of Postscript, also known as PS the Talk Show. And for our first segment today, before we begin for seconds for real, this is season 4. The first episode. As I told y'all, whenever that was, I'm going to do 12 episodes a season because, you know, there's 12 signs, 12 months. It just felt right when I kind of made that decision the first season on the 12 episodes, so we're just going to rock with it. Yeah, shout out to the little YouTube newsletter that you, like, get as a creator or whatever. They tell you, like, you know, you got some new subscribers, how many videos you posted, how much watch time you got. So, love y'all. Shout out to y'all for that. Leave some comments below. And, honestly, maybe we'll just make that our first segment. Peace for your pieces. Let's move on. What pissed me off today is coming to terms with the fact that now that I'm, you know, somebody ain't doing the math right, like Mona said, I'm doing the math right now. I'm really starting to understand that I missed out on a good scam. I should have went back to school, but like during COVID and all that, because it still was no interest. I already was getting like no interest on my loans that I already had, but I should have took advantage of going to school to get another degree in that time frame to use that to my, you know, advantage, I guess, or whatever the case may be. But now I'm just really sitting back and I'm good because I'm like, damn, that would have been fire. But you live and you learn. So what shoulda, woulda, coulda. You can't, you know, dwell on the things you can't change. Questions that need answers. What is the most interesting historical fact you've learned recently? The first thing that comes to mind, honestly, is that a black woman, you know, was the originator of the grunge emo scene. I had no idea about that. Her name is Tina Bell. And I just really, that was the first thing I thought about. So that was this week's questions that need answers. For this week's Conscious Cunt, I'm going to talk about my aura photos. I don't even know if it's going to focus. Maybe I should turn this down a little bit. I don't know if you can see it or not, honestly. I don't know. I don't even know. But, okay, this was the first one that I got in maybe 2024. Yeah, almost sure 2024. Then this one I just got like maybe 2 weeks ago, and the craziest part was when I looked at the pictures, I have on the same dress. Spirit be sending you little messages like you exactly where you're supposed to be, exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Like, you just gotta focus, because I got this picture taken, the first picture, at a whole different event, and then I saw the same photographer at the high frequency events. So I got this one at the most recent high frequency, and it's just so crazy that I ran into the photographer Strange Hues again, you know, at the other event. It's just like, you know, paths be crossing, messages be given, and that just be that. Make sure y'all follow Strange Hues, strangehuestudios.com. Yeah, it's amazing. You get the photo taken, then you get the aura ray on the photo, and it's just always like, I like that. How'd you know that? And then I also like the fact that mine are completely different. And I'm not even about to get into it, but the purple for me is just really resonating because that's like my favorite color. So I just feel like my spirit is very like shining through in that piece and excited to expand. And like purple means like royalty, and like to me that's like loyalty and security. Yeah. Told y'all last week 30's about to turn us up, so let's see. We're gonna bring back an old favorite, at least one of my favorite. What's the tea? This is a beef shirt that I got from the Purpose Tour, like maybe in 2017 or 18 or something like that. And that also relates to this week's bar for bar. That's why we bought it back. I don't even have a certain, maybe the first one that come to mind is Swag. That's just like a good little bop off that drink. Oh, Justice's new album. Did everything it needed to do. It's so many different sounds and eras of him. The only thing he didn't really like tap into was the super poppy like kind of like, I don't know. Maybe I'm lying though, because Dad's Love is like poppy kind of. It's like dancey though. But whatever. I really like that album. Swag is just like it's such a good car song. Like, ain't nothing. Oh, that. Shout out to the Beebs. Now we're gonna get into hashtag. I cannot make this shit up. I can't believe I didn't even say that last episode. I just started running my mouth, yapping. So like very accurate of the astrology that I was talking about. Like, so whatever. But we're about to get into it for this week. The theme of everything, honestly, is less bitching, more witching. That's really like what it gotta be. And take that how it ever it resonates. So tomorrow there will be a new moon in the sign of Leo. So I don't know, when I just hear Leo, I see that little meme, you know, you think it's small. You need to be thinking big, bitch. Like, think big, move big, be big, live big, but not irresponsibly, but confidently take up space and stand firm on what you want, what you don't want. And when you maybe start to have that shift or perspective, or maybe even before, you can think about what didn't go as planned. You know, it's like Mercury retrograde or whatever. Maybe what kind of stuff has made you like slow down and like force you to be like, all right, let me just relax and just kind of think on that and reflect on maybe how you was feeling during that, and then maybe now, and you can kind of, you know, change your perspective of when things like that may come back up for you, and when you feel like, you know, the universe is just so against you and everything that's going wrong could go wrong. Yeah, the new moon in Leo is really about what are we going to do moving forward? What is the course of action? What is the plan? Because if you don't have no plan, I don't got time for that. I already know how I need to be moving or what I want to be doing, because I'm thinking big. Oh, and then I guess I also should have said, you know, on the 22nd, that started Leo season. So happy, you know, birthday to all Leos out there in the world. Happy Leo season to y'all. May you enjoy your time. Because and then the other thing I want to say is, like, you know, even if you don't per se have the plan, go somewhere else to get it. Go find it somewhere else. Make another route. Make a backup plan to the plan before you even know what the plan is. Like, I don't know. Just be open to if things don't go the first way you want them to go. And when I say, you know, think big and move big, I don't mean that in an egotistical way. It's something that I mean as far as your confidence, as far as like your authenticity, whatever makes you feel just like radically you. I told y'all many episodes ago that the slowest moving planets were going to all change sign in 2025. Neptune and Saturn is in Aries. So the planet Neptune, the planet Saturn are in the astrological sign of Aries. The planet Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer, and the planet Uranus is in the sign of Gemini. So with the slower moving planets changing, you could understand that just simply means that, you know, that dial is being turned that I always talk about. And finally, the slowest people in the race have caught up, and now we all can move on to another time. Right? Timeline change, time shift, pivot. But then, you know, we did talk about Mercury retrograde. Don't be paranoid, but just remember 2 things can be true at once. Back up your stuff, check your stuff, read your emails and your text messages, and have your jumper cables for your car. Just make sure you got gas, and make sure your tire ain't flat. Just all the little petty minor stuff that you probably don't check all the time. Just kind of be more aware of that little kind of inconvenient stuff that really will just blow your whole day. Something that I don't always quite grasp in every situation is that when stuff change, it's not the end of the world, and it might just be something different or better. So yeah, just keep that in mind as well. Change that outfit, change it around. Shout out to Tim Brown. If anybody watched Drag Race, change that outfit, change it around. That's really, I don't know, I just heard that. It just came to me. That's really what I already summed up everything I was just saying. If you don't like where it's going, change that outfit, change it around. Okay?
I got it. Turn the wigs around. What? No, really, come on, turn the wigs around.
Back to speaking of that plan, just that relates to the Mercury retrograde thing as well, you know. Mercury retrograde is a little bit more gentle on you if you got a plan in already thinking ahead about that little petty kind of minor stuff that I was just talking about. And because every time I say plan, I don't mean something documented and alphabetized and like, you know, it don't always have to be that. Sometimes the thought enough is to spark the initiative. So, and then when I was saying, you know, pivot, that's been a very popular term on the channel over the last couple weeks. With Uranus being a Gemini, you know, it changed signs or whatever. Like I was telling you, it was a slower moving planet, and now it's in Gemini. It's also a planet that this is something that I found very interesting. It spins on its side or whatever, so it like tilts. So for me, that resonates with the different POV, the pivot, because sometimes I told you can't just do it face on. You might gotta do a catacorner. And Uranus can influence that catacorner point of view. You like, you know, you're driving, you can look in the side mirror, but sometimes if you like either look back a little bit or look forward a little bit, you get a better view, right? Look back and look forward a little bit. Lean forward and come up a little bit. That's look at it from every, scope the scenery out, as Meatball said. Be brave in your authenticity. I don't even know how many times I can say that. And just express yourself and stop being mad or afraid if people look at you. But the idea of people perceiving you is killing you. Like, you can't even fathom that like happening to you. So stop, let go of that. Easier said than done. I know. And something that I really, really like that Maddie always says that sticks with me is a yes to something is immediately a no to something else. So always remember that as well. Retrograde will end, and hopefully from you approaching things and having different point of views, you will have the answers that you were wanting, needing, looking for, didn't ask for. Who knows? Mercury do what it wants. And on the 31st of July, we will have a Mercury Cazimi. I really like Cazimis because they just kind of give whatever the planet is a little boost. And, you know, with Mercury being in retrograde, it probably could use a little sunshine, a little sunlight, give you the final comb through of what you need to see, look at, hear, all that good stuff. And even with me speaking about clean slate over the past couple episodes, that doesn't always mean take everything off. Sometimes you just erase some of the notes, not all of them. You don't just get completely rid of every sheet. Like, you know, edit. Like the writing process. We're in the editing phase. Revision. Time to get it together. Well, old people say don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Because getting rid of everything, sometimes that do more harm than good. Prime example. The first thing that was like coming to me as I was like writing my script for the show, when I was like talking about sometimes you got to keep some stuff. You don't just get rid of everything. You just pick and choose what you want to keep. Prime example, the first things that started coming to my head was like songs, like remixes that are essentially the song, but they are not the same song. If you listen to the original and then the remix, it's like, yeah, this is the same song, but it's not. It's the remix is like, this is so much better for one. And then it's also like, this is like, okay, I'm gonna name some songs. I'm Real by J-Lo. Ja Rule turned it up. The beat turned it up. Yeah, that song was not what it was. It didn't have no little bop, no little flow. It didn't have that. It wasn't that. Bag Lady by Erykah Badu. The one that they play on the radio and stuff is not the Bag Lady, but it's like it is, but it's not, right? In My Bed by Drew Hill. The remix. We gonna what? Y'all wanna dance? We gonna make you Damn. Somebody's sleeping in my bed. In my head. Yeah, that doesn't sound. Somebody sleeping in my bed. Somebody's taking my place. Those songs are completely different, but they're the same. The last one, my most recent favorite discovery. I just kept hearing I feel like falling in love on the little cuff it drink, right? With the little twister drink. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's sexy. That's fly. Like, okay, I see Beyonce. Or yeah. So I really like that song. And they like put it on Apple Music. I'm like, this is bomb. Like, this is amazing. But I never heard the actual song. And then I heard the actual song. And I was like, oh, this is like a dancey, like kind of bop song. She slowed it down all the way, mate. And then I was like, but it's the same song, but it's not. And that's just what I wanted to talk to y'all about sometimes the remix be the same song, but not. Sometimes the edit in life be the same one, but it's not. So yeah, do that for you. Keep your prototypes and know what's working and why it's working. And what ain't working and why it ain't working. And then like embarrassment that's rooted or tied to like shame or failure, that isn't healthy. So if you have that, you should probably, talk to the lady, do something with that. Because failure is a loss. It isn't a loss. It's a lesson. Change that outfit. Change it around. Something in the experience was delightful. Keep that. That's it. Just keep that one thing. And whatever it was, just keep that one thing. And if nothing was delightful, fuck it off. Because shame has no space in our life at this big age. So hope I enjoyed the episode. Thank you for coming. Please come back, subscribe, share, comment, like, turn the bell on. What else they be saying? Yeah, all of it. Thanks. You know how we end the episode, and if you don't, too late. Bitches be mad because we can, and bitches be hating because they need.